so we'll let that catch up. I just got the notification that we are now streaming
Cool.
from YouTube. So, and that's popped up
Cool.
from YouTube. Oh, and we were both on there, so that is good. And that's popped up. I haven't actually listened to any of our recordings. I hope they are sounding okay. I'll have to try to remember to listen to this one.
Yeah, I've been bad about that as well. I should at least. Well, I listen to them a little bit when I'm editing, so
Yeah.
what I do listen to sounds good.
Well, that's good then. That works. Um, all right. I think we are. Oh, I want to hit publish on this post.
Let's see my channel.
Oh shit, did I do that wrong again? I did that fucking wrong again. I forgot to change. Visit activity log. How do you get to activity log?
Do you know what you're doing?
No, I screwed up and didn't put I typed the whole thing up and then didn't put it under uh, as Geekvice posting it. I posted it as myself.
Oh, okay.
So I have to go in and make it page allow on page. Now I gotta see if it's actually showed up or not. Page.
Somehow we got to figure out a way that when we have people on that are like doing a Kickstarter or something, that they actually tell people that they were on our podcast.
Yeah.
It's kind of frustrating, you know. I looked
know.
at all the stuff that what was his name, Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
Not once were we mentioned.
Yeah, we need to.
Thing is, I don't think John and Bill do it either. So
They have before.
oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah, I don't. They haven't on Witch Slapped yet, or at least I haven't seen it. But I need to send. I think I need to send them something. So maybe we throw like a send them our logo or something and
It's just kind of a bummer. It's like seriously, people.
Yeah.
It's we scratch your back, you scratch ours thing. Not we're in it just for you.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to type this again. Ah, stupid me. Gotta remember to do that.
We had a pretty decent month though, 163 so far.
That's good. That's real good. I'll take it.
Me too. But everything normally is up around 20, and the bellwether games is 11.
Yeah, I think some of it is he. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I mean, it is only a. Well, that's only a week old though, right?
Yeah, but still, like you know,
Yeah. You usually, I'm wondering if he just hasn't put anything out there on it.
I don't know. It's
Yeah. Maybe I'll have to send him some links, and then maybe he can include those on the Facebook page or on his. That's probably my fault. I probably
yeah,
should have sent
he's
him those.
just a hair under 4,000
Mm-hmm.
with 14 days to go. Got some work to do.
Yeah, he does. Um,
Let's see. Look at his updates and nothing about us. don't know. Maybe I'm just being an ass about it, but I
Yeah.
feel like we should be at least talked about a little bit.
Yeah. I would agree. I need to send him. I'll try to remember. I'll send him an email in the morning and with links to um, Libsyn and to YouTube, and have him put those. Like, here's some links to our interview with you. If you would like to put these on your Kickstarter page.
Yeah, it's all hindsight now, but I kind of wish we would have got the game designers on there as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me
That
too.
you know,
We'll
lessons learned.
Yeah, we'll remember that for next time for another game that he's got on. See if we can't get the game designers on too, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
All right, tiny.cc/geekvice. Done and publish. There we go. Now it's on there. Facebook can go away now. And we're there. Okay, you ready? 9:02, not too bad.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, I am also going to do one other thing. I am going to hit a record button to record audio for this thing on my computer here. We'll see how that does.
Awesome.
And then you might not have to edit the YouTube channel.
Is there a way to trim out the beginning of these videos?
It won't start. It won't start until I hit the record button, and I haven't hit it yet. So.
Well, I mean, even on
Oh.
the YouTube channel.
No, not. I'd have to go in and pull the video down and then edit it and then put it back up.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, but a lot of the people that do this stuff, or the ones that I watch too, they always have a few minutes beforehand when it's all getting everything, making sure everything's working, because you can't really check it until you're streaming. So, all right, let's start this now. All right, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Maybe. Welcome, everybody, to Geekvice episode 149, proving any vice with enough geek can become a virtue. My name's Morph, that man's Kip. Good evening, Kip.
Good evening.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing fairly well considering tomorrow's a school day.
Yeah, that's, we're recording this a day early. And we're doing that because tomorrow is actually Halloween, and I will be out trick or treating with the kids, and Kip will be having the doorbell ring constantly as he hands out candy, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And so we decided we're going to record this one the day before Halloween. Kip's got some travel schedule coming up later this week, so this was the best time to do it. We wanted to make sure we got something out there for you guys. And, you know, normally in past years, we've kind of made this a Halloween specific type episode, but I think we might actually save that and kind of do that more next week after Halloween, when we can kind of talk about what we did while we were out, kind of show some of that stuff off, and talk a little bit more about Halloween specifically and what we all did for it next week. So this week we're going to spend time on video games. We've got lots of talk about video games, some new video games that we've been playing, some old video games we're no longer playing. But before we start with video games, we should do a Kickstarter update. Our good friends at Prolific Games have Witch Slapped. They've got 16 days to go, and they are at 75% funded. So they need just a little bit more. Come on, everybody, go check them out. Search for Witch Slapped uh, on Kickstarter, or go check our Facebook page out, or go check out Prolific Games and get right in on that. The other one is Bellwether Games. We had them on last week, and they talked about their game called Wind Up War. That game is that Kickstarter has 14 days left, I believe, and it is 66% funded. So they need a little bit more help. Go fund their game. It's a lot of fun, or it looks like a lot of fun. We haven't got to play that one yet, and join us in backing them in that fun little the cutest, what, I forgot what it was called. It was something, the cutest combat game or something like that.
Yeah,
Toys
we're
battling.
like the world's worst at
Yeah.
promoting other people's stuff. So
Well, I should have wrote it down and I didn't. So, but it looks like a really good game. So go
it's
check
the
that out.
cutest combat card game.
There you go. I knew it was a alliteration, but I couldn't remember what the alliteration was.
All you can remember was cutest,
I
and
know.
yeah, it happens.
It's just, it goes along with the twitch that I have too. But go check out our last episode if you haven't listened to that yet, and where we talk about that game and all about it. So with Dennis Hoyle from Bellwether Games. So, and one other thing, as we get into our topics, something that before we get into the video game topics, I wanted to talk just real briefly. My wife and I actually watched Ghostbusters last night. We wanted to watch a movie with the kids that um, that was like Halloween kind of type movie, and so we're like, oh, the kids have seen the other Ghostbuster movies, so we're gonna watch the new Ghostbusters movie. Started watching it, and our 4-year-old immediately was like, nope, this is not working. Did not like the first few scenes of that movie. So we switched and had watched Casper with the kids, and then after they went to bed, or after they fell asleep, then we finished Ghostbusters. And I have to say, for all the bashing that was out there on the new Ghostbusters movie, the movie really isn't that bad. It, I think nostalgia has gone and put the original Ghostbusters movie up on this pedestal that it doesn't deserve to be on that pedestal. It's not that it's a bad movie, but it's not a great movie either. It's not an award-winning movie by any means. And this movie wasn't that much worse than that movie. I will say I like the original one better, but for the time period and what it is, I like this new Ghostbusters movie. My wife and I both liked it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I haven't watched it yet, but I've had about 3 or 4 people now, including yourself, tell me that it was pretty decent. I want it to be good. I am part of the group that thinks the original was just outstanding. So, in
And
fact, that's what we're watching tomorrow night while we're handing out Halloween candy is the original Ghostbusters.
well, I'll tell you this: after you watch the original one, just go flip this one in. You can get it cheap on Amazon Instant Video. It's not for free anywhere, I don't believe. I didn't see it free anywhere. But you can. It's only a couple dollars, I believe, on Amazon Instant Video. It's kind of a new lower price thing. Um, I recommend it. I say go check it out, especially if you enjoy the other Ghostbusters movie, because this one's really not that far off. I mean, and really the part of the new movie that I liked the most was the way they worked in cameos for all the original cast members except Rick Moranis. He was the only one not in there. So I don't know what the deal was with that, but um, they even had Egon not physically in there since he died before this movie was filmed. But they had his cameo was that he was a like a statue bust sitting like at a doorway to in one of the universities. I'm like, hey, that's like I didn't even see it at first. Amber picked it up as we were flipping through. She's like, hey, did you see Egon there? And I'm like, no. So we had to rewind it. And it's like, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
So and they Dan Aykroyd's in it, Bill Murray's in it, Slimer is in it. Um, the black guy's name, Wilson? No,
Winston.
Winston. He's in it. Um, it's they do and they're great, but each one of those cameos are not the original characters. They're different characters in this movie because in this movie there was no Ghostbusters. This is a complete. I don't know. Is it a reboot or is it just a whole?
Reimagination.
Yeah, it's just a whole different
Reimagining.
telling. Yeah, it's separate. They're not connected by any means. There's no references to the other stuff or that this has ever happened before. It's all you know. It's all new just to itself. And I
Oh,
th-
I didn't realize that. I thought it was going to be like Ghostbusters 30 years later.
no, nope. This is like the first movie never happened.
Okay.
So or the first two movies, like they don't exist. There were no Ghostbusters. Now there's stuff that's thrown in there that you see, like the firehouse, you know, the Ecto One, the hearse being their vehicle. That stuff is in there. So knowing the other movie, you're like, oh, that's awesome. That's like the first movie, but the characters in the movie and the movie itself does not recognize any of that as happening before.
Okay.
So, I think it's good. I say check it out. I'll be curious. I would like to see what you think when you
Yeah,
watch it.
I'm really curious too because like you and your wife liked it. Eddie of Daydream Instructional Manual, he loved it. Some friends of mine, she loved it. He hated it. So I'm curious to see what I think of it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's worth checking out.
Sweet.
Just remember, it's not an award-winning movie.
I'm not
Ghostbusters
expecting it to be.
Yeah, Ghostbusters did not win any awards. Ghostbusters 2 did not win any awards. Those movies were not critically acclaimed. Like they were what made them so good at the time was the fact that they took the funniest guys from Saturday Night Live and they made a movie around them. This
Yeah.
movie is they took the funniest people from Saturday Night Live, which just happens to be four women, and put them in a movie together. Like that's all it is.
Well,
So
I think I'll be fine watching it because we watched Zoolander Part 2 this weekend. So it's not like it all has to be, Academy Award winning films that we
right,
watch. Like,
right.
in fact, we has a better chance of being watched if it's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, there you go. I've got a few more movies, so I'm trying to fit those in and watch some more movies. Get caught up on some old movies. Like I never saw Jack Reacher, so I have that now. I need to watch that. I never saw Warcraft. I need to see that. Um, Now You See Me and Now You See Me Too. I have both of those.
I've seen the first one, I haven't seen the second one.
So I want to watch those. I have John Wick, and I've heard that's actually really good.
Oh, it's fabulous. I
But I
loved
haven't
it.
seen that yet. So I've got these movies that I have now, and they're on my server so that I can watch them. I just have to find time to do it, and I haven't had any time to do it because I've been playing too many video games. But what I know you have the big news that you have officially broken up with Call of Duty. Are you ready to go back screaming and yelling and begging for them to come back?
Actually, so far, no. Just for some context, the whole reason I have broken up with Call of Duty is the futuristic combat that has slowly worked its way into the game now has become the whole thrust of the game, and that's all those jump thrusts, wall walking, all this crap that when it first came on, it was kind of kitschy. Like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And then Black Ops 3 came out, and I don't know how many times playing Black Ops 3, I was like, that thrust jumping is the worst thing they've done to this game ever. And then when the trailers came out for Infinite Warfare, and it's just all of that, it's like, nope, done. They've done it. They finally went too far, and I had to give up. And I don't know if it's because it's geared for the younger crowd, and I'm more of a boots on the ground kind of a combat gamer.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's it could be the equivalent of me standing there yelling, "Get off my lawn!" But I don't know. I just got tired of it. It's just it to me it turned the game into something other than what it was. Modern Warfare was fantastic. I loved that game. The multiplayer, all the boots on the ground, all that good stuff gone. It's so, I had a moment of, do I just go ahead and spend the $60 and play the game? Because when I game, I usually just play multiplayer, shoot 'em up. As my wife says, "Are you going to bed or are you going to kill people?" I usually end up killing people because that's what we call that. So I couldn't give that up. So I decided to go with Battlefield 1. My first multiplayer combat game was Battlefield 1943. It was on the Xbox 360 for me. It was a total download game. It was a smaller game. So small that I ended up getting all the trophies for the game. I don't think that's the only game I've ever done that to.
Nice.
So, Battlefield gives you a little bit different of a flavor. If there's a tank, a jeep, a motorcycle, an airplane, you can jump in and drive those things or fly the airplane or shoot the tank or whatever. Plus, it's just ground war. And if you don't want to get into any of the vehicles, this Battlefield 1 centers around World War One. So you've got planes that are like biplanes and nothing that moves ultra fast. The tanks are definitely not what you're used to seeing. It's exactly what you expect when they first make a tank. They took a vehicle and they just welded a bunch of armor plating to it, saying, "All right, tank." The guns aren't fabulous. Some of them are fairly inaccurate. You can do a bayonet charge, things like that. I mean, it is trench warfare, 1918.
Right.
It's more of what I've been looking for. I just got to get used to playing Battlefield versus Call of Duty because the scale of the game is different. And I don't mean size of the maps per se, even though they are bigger. The size of the characters, I guess you could say. In Call of Duty, it seems like everything's closer to you, so the people seem to be bigger on the screen.
Okay.
Things like that. The combat feels a little more up close and personal. Battlefield, you feel a little like everything's a little further away. So it takes a little bit getting used to that. So far, I haven't got to sink a ton of time into it. It's totally non-geek, but it's college football season, so Saturdays I don't play any video games whatsoever. Little confessional right there, but I did play Friday into Saturday morning. I played till about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I suck. I'm terrible. I had one game, I think I had 4 kills and 22 deaths or something like that. So, yeah. I'm freaking awesome. But there's different multiplayer you can choose. They've got the shorter games, the quick matches they call them. Some of them are like Call of Duty, like Domination, where you basically have 3 points that you try to capture and hold. Um, Team Deathmatch, things like that. Then they have these other ones that are called Operations, and it's like it gives you like objectives, like okay, you're starting here and you've got to take this bridge or you got to take this little town, and there's like a series of 3 or 4 of them, and you've got to work your way through and capture all these points in order to earn the victory on that. And you could also be on the other side of that where you're trying to defend all that. And so it's more of a battle plan kind of a scenario to it, which I started off with the quick matches because that's what I understood from Call of Duty. But these operations are kind of a blast because
Yeah.
they could end, a quick match usually takes about 10 minutes. Um, some of these operation matches were taking 30,
Really?
30 minutes. I think one of them took 38 minutes.
Wow.
So there's a little bit more of a time commitment, but the scale of that and the things that you can do and the frustration of run, 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 get killed, run, 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 get killed. So it's just me getting used to the game. But yeah, I'm so far I haven't been. Man, I should have gotten Call of Duty. I'm enjoying Battlefield One.
Right.
Uh, and another thing I like about it is, unlike when I've got Call of Duty and the PS4, where some games have like 1% of the people playing, some of them say 0%. So sometimes you can't even find a match to get into. So far with Battlefield, I haven't had that problem.
Yeah.
These maps have 10, the ones I were playing had 10 people on each team, had zero waiting around for a team to fill up. So I don't know if the game makes up for it by putting computer controlled game people in there. I'm not sure. I haven't checked. I don't think they are, because it seems like everybody is human controlled. But
Everyone's doing something stupid. Is that what you're
yeah,
saying?
well, usually it's me doing stuff that's stupid. But yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I played a little bit of the campaign, which was pretty cool. One of them, I think the one that's the most intense was you're part of this tank group, and you go into this area and it's really foggy, so they can't see. So you get out of the tank and walk ahead of the tank, and then you come to these fortified areas where you've basically got to clear a path so the tank can get through without getting destroyed by like their heavy artillery and things like this. So you've got to sneak around and kill people, try to do it as silently as possible so the tank doesn't get destroyed. It's, it's pretty intense, and it's I found that pretty fun. And when I got done with that, it's like, all right, the adrenaline's pumping. Let's get into some multiplayer. And so I've been doing that ever since. I should go back and finish the campaign, but I know how I am. I love the multiplayer so much. I may never get to it, but so far I'm giving it a thumbs up. It may go to 2 thumbs up when I get more time to sink into it, but so far I haven't drunk dialed Call of Duty or anything, so it's all good.
Hey, there you go. And that's always kind of that's something that's hard to step off of when you've been playing a game or a series for so long, and then you kind of get into that, oh no, this is the game that's always the best. That other one over here, that one's not good. That's not good. Don't try it. Don't get that one. This one's way better. Um, but when you make that switch or you give that one a try, it's almost like that, oh, I really am not supposed to like this, but damn, this is really good.
Well, yeah, I cut my teeth on Battlefield, but Call of Duty was like the gold standard. It really
Right.
was, but they've ruined the gameplay for me. I just it's kind of sad to say that because I'm sure it's very popular still and it'll make tons of money. It's just going to do it without my $60.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think it's feeding off the crowd that are big into Titanfall and things like that, where you have your more futuristic battles and your futuristic weaponry and things like that. And hey, to each their own. Those people are out there. I don't have a problem with them. I'm just
Yeah, I
not a
don't
big.
either. And I enjoyed Titanfall because I knew going in it's a mech warrior game. There's
Right.
some futuristic aspects to the gameplay. I expected it. I just, I guess I just didn't want Call of Duty to grow up. I wanted it to stay kind of like the World War II franchise
Well,
that it was when I first started playing it. And
and it almost makes me wonder if they're going to maybe cycle through some of that. So, like, they'll have this game, they'll kind of go back and maybe do some more modern day time. Like, they've got futuristic one, and then maybe next year they'll do modern day. Then maybe the next year they'll go back to a World War II, World War I, World War II time period. Or if they start having like multiple Call of Duties come out, within a year, maybe they're trying to diversify a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Call of Duty, but
yeah, well, you could get Modern Warfare, whatever it was Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, um, redigitized or whatever the hell they called it. I can't remember now. But you
right.
could get that with this new upgrade, but I just didn't see the point. If I wanted to play that game, I'll just pull the game out I bought a long time ago and pop it into my
Right.
60 and play it again.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I know what they're trying to do. I didn't fall for it.
Not working for you. Well, I understand that. You know, you said that uh, because of college football, you haven't been playing a lot of video games. Uh, Today, my oldest son had a soccer game. My youngest son was asleep. So my wife took the oldest one to his soccer game. So I stayed home during the Chiefs game. After they left, I was sitting there watching the Chiefs game. I was like, I'm going to go grab my laptop and turn on Civilization 6 and watch the Chiefs game, watch them kick the crap out of the Indianapolis Colts, and play Civ 6 at the same time. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. So, if you haven't guessed, the game that I'm playing, I purchased Civ 6. I actually pre ordered it a day in advance. So does that really count as a pre-order? I bought it the day before it came out, and I only bought it the day before it came out so that I could preload it with Steam. I bought it through Steam, preloaded it so that at midnight on last Friday night, I it would be installed and loaded on my computer overnight, and I didn't have to. The downloading and everything and installing had already been done, or I guess the downloading had already been done. So then Saturday morning, I got up, clicked the install button to get it all, to get that first time run thing, let that all go, and Saturday night I was able to start playing. So I started playing right just a little bit more than a week ago, and I have already put in about I'm right around 15 hours, I believe. So 15 hours of video game playing in, let's say, 8 days, 7 days. Let's say 7 days. That is really good for me, especially recently. Um, I, I didn't even put in that amount of time when I was doing the Assassin's Creed Rogue Let's Play that we did on the Geekvice gaming channel, and that I wasn't putting in that much time on that. This Civ 6 is incredible. If you've played any of Sid Meier's Civilization games, you kind of know what you're looking at, but Civ 6 is probably the most polished Civilization game at release date that I've ever played. It's incredible. The now the AI makes some stupid decisions, and I'm not good at these games. I'm gonna put that out there right now. I am not good. I'm actually really bad, and you will see how bad I am when I play these on Let's Play. I'm gonna start one probably this week. Start a new game, and the you can watch me and see how bad I actually am. But so what these games are, if you don't know, Civilization is the genre is called a 4X strategy game. It's a turn-based 4X strategy. Now 4X stands for explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate.
Yeah, you know what? Another confessional moment. One time I was talking about a game with a guy I know, and he goes, "Is it a 4X?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think four people can play."
Yeah, the I have heard the 4X term thrown around, and I always they always talk about, oh yeah, that's it means this, but I always forget what it is, so I had to look it up so I remembered exactly what it is. I think it's hilarious. But basically what it is you start out as a civilization. You pick your country that you want to be, you pick your leader within the country that you want to be, and then they drop you in with a settler to make your first city and a warrior and an empty map and say, here, go. And there can be anywhere from 2 to, I think, 10, 12 maybe? Different civilizations depending on the size of the map and the number you want to put in there. You can set your games up, you can customize them however you want. The game that I'm playing currently, which I'm getting pretty close to finishing, I've got a couple different options for victories. In this game is, I believe there's 4 other civilizations, and I'm playing as Rome. Germany is in there. England is in there. Samaria. Oh, I think there was 6. Japan was in there. I eliminated Japan. They were in my way.
Are they all controlled by the computer, or are these people that you're playing online with?
These, well, you can. I'm playing by myself, so these are all computer run civilizations except for mine. I'm Rome.
Okay.
But you can play a multiplayer game, and they've actually. So, an average game of Civilization is going to run anywhere from 15 to 20 hours to complete one game. They are not short games. They are very long games. They are long strategy. Um, they can be quicker if you're really good. One of the guys that I watch, Quill18 on YouTube, I've watched him play Civ 6. He got a press release copy of it, and I watched him play. He was finishing games in about 12 hours. He was finishing a game,
Wow.
and 12 hours of gameplay. He was I mean, he was flying through stuff, and it not necessarily that he was flying through doing stuff really fast. He knew how to play the game. I'm an idiot, as anyone who's listened to this podcast knows. I'm an idiot, so I make stupid mistakes. I make stupid thought processes, and I make stupid decisions.
Well, we'll say they're not stupid decisions. It's out of the box strategy. We'll call it that.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Um, but the best thing the part that I like about this right now is that I played Civ 4. I really enjoyed Civ 4. I would play it on. There's different difficulty levels. There is Chieftain, I believe, is the easiest, and Deity is the hardest. And I think there's 7 levels in between there. Um, I could only get in Civ 4. I could only get to the second one which I think was Warlord, I could win that sometimes. Actually, I could win that one fairly consistently. The next one up, I would win maybe once every 10 times I played, which is really frustrating. So I could never really get very far into it. I got really frustrated with that game, and I tried to learn and study up and try to get better at it. Tried to play Civ 5 and never really had the time or the energy to spend in it to really learn it. So I only played a little bit through that and never did very well. Civ 6, I am already playing on the third difficulty level. That was my first game. I decided, what the heck, I'm going to take this and run with it. The way the game is set up and the way it plays, the changes that they've made to it between Civ 4, Civ 5, and now Civ 6, the things that they've changed, to me, have made the game more forgiving on the player's side.
Okay.
So I'm not running away with a victory in this game, but I have enough. I felt like I've done enough to where I can win a couple different ways, and now I just have to say, okay, this is what I'm going to do to win, and then just put all my eggs in that basket and focus on the win. Um, it's really interesting, and so if you've played Civ 5 or played Civ 4, Civ 4 you used to be able to stack all these units together, and you could walk around on from tile to tile. So it's basically like looking at a board game map. You have tiles, and your units could then just be piled into one big, what they call them, stack of death, and you never knew what was actually in that stack, and you would have to just defend the AI from it. You see this one unit come at you, and really there's 20 of them there, and you're never gonna survive. In Civ 5, they changed that up and said only a single unit can occupy a tile at one tile at a time. So that's kind of changed the way combat works and forces you. It gives it a more realistic feel. So archers are shooting from 2 tiles or 3 tiles back, depending on the strength of the archer. I think it's archers can attack from 2 tiles. I think rifles or something like that can go to 3 tiles. So it gives you that concept of, okay, you want your melee people up front, you want your range support behind it, you want your if you use certain siege weapons, then those can be up front, or they might be, like catapults, you want to be a little farther back. But a siege tower, you want to be up front because that helps your melee units attack through the walls of the city. Um, it's very, very board gamey style. I really like that, and kind of helps with combat. I think that helps. That change has really helped with making it a little harder. You can actually focus on weaknesses, exploit certain things that the enemy is doing when they come to attack you, setting them up so that they have to maybe make a longer trek and give you more opportunities to attack somebody. Um, the other thing that they've done is it used to be that one city and all the buildings in it took up a single tile. And so you would have to build, your city would look like, it'd look like this tiny square, and you never knew what all was in there. Well, they've changed that up in Civ 6, and they've implemented this idea of districts. So if you want to focus on research, you build a campus district, and that campus district gets bonuses depending on where it's located around your city. So you have your city center, and then around it you have all your districts. And you can only build a certain number of districts depending on how much population you have in your city. But those help you focus on, it helps specialize your city, but also give you flexibility within your city. So my main city in Rome has a campus district, so I can pump out lots of research and be way far in the tech tree. I'm the only one in the world right now with rifling, so I have rifles, and everyone else is shooting bows and arrows at me.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. So I got that going for me. So if I really wanted to walk through and wipe out everybody, I that it would be easily done. Um, the but also within that city, when I don't, so now that I'm so far ahead on tech, I can focus on some other things there. I've also got a industrial zone and a military encampment there. So if I want to build, the industrial zone helps your production be higher. So I can build wonders and I can build more units that are get boosted by the encampment. Like so, I can do lots of things within this city to so that the focus isn't too far one way or the other. In Civ 4, I've really felt like if you didn't specialize your cities specifically, and you tried to make them more a wider range to where they could do lots of different things, they ended up doing lots of things mediocrely and nothing great. In Civ 6, I feel like with the districts, you can make up for that. You don't have to be as pinpoint focused on doing as this city is only going to make science and it's going to make the most science it possibly can. And this city over here is only going to do production. If I don't have anything to build there, then it's just going to sit there twiddling its thumbs. So I think that's actually that's helped me play this game better, and I hope that it helps some other people. I talk about these different ways of winning. I'll kind of run through these real quick because they're kind of fun. You have 5 different choices for victory conditions. You have 5 ways to win this game. The longest one and what's considered the newbie way to win is time. If you survive and have the highest score at the year 2050, you win. And this game starts at it's something like 700 turns or something like that. It's a really long time. Um, that's boring. Don't do that unless you absolutely have to. Um, the other one that's actually probably the most gone after is domination. They've made that a little bit easier. It used to be that you had to eliminate a civ completely. So if you were going up against Germany and they had 15 cities you had to wipe out, or you either had to demolish or take control over all their cities. Now, in order to win a domination victory, you only need to take their capitals. So you can go straight for the heart and eliminate their capitals, and then they're done. They can still their capital will move to another city if you didn't wipe out all their other cities, but that doesn't mean you have to go take that other capital. If you take their starting city, then they are officially out of the chance of getting domination unless they come take that city back from you. Um, the other one is a cultural victory. Cultural victories require tourism. You get tourism by creating culture and making people want to come to your city. So it's usually lots of world wonders and great works of art and great works of literature. They convince other civs to come to you. If you attract more tourists than all the other civs can attract to their cities, then you will win. You can win a cultural victory. You have to watch out for the AI since they like to build wonders and great artists and great writers to do all these goofy things like that. You have to watch them pretty closely with cultural victories. The other victory, that's 3 victories. The fourth one is science. This one is
Science.
yeah. This one is following a nice tech tree where you have to get down the tech tree. Um, so it's very technology and science based, research based early on in the game. But towards the end of the game, you have to turn your focus onto production because you need to launch a satellite, you need to launch a moon landing, and you need to colonize Mars. So send a rocket
Nice.
into space to colonize Mars. And those 3 things are big production things that you have to do at the end of the game once you've researched them. If you get there first, you can get a head start, but you have to watch out because once you get a head start, the um, the AIs will see this and start coming after you really quickly. The fifth victory condition is a new condition for Civ 6. It is a religious victory. And religion kind of plays a part. They've changed this up a lot over the iterations 4, 5, and 6, and religion and culture used to be kind of combined, and religion would help build more culture, which could help you with a cultural victory. Now, religion is a separate victory thing, all in and of itself, and it has to do with religious warfare, which is kind of cool. You can build apostles and inquisitors in your religious cities. Once you've found a religion, you can build these units, and these units can then go to other countries and basically try to wipe out their religion and convince them and basically convert them to your religion. Really fun. Really fun.
Do you get to name your own religion?
You can. You
That would be
can.
awesome.
You can name it. They've got different symbols that you can pick to. So if you want some custom, they've got all the signs of the zodiac, and they've got a few other things in there that you can then pick, and so you can have your own religion. Name it whatever you want. They give you options to different things to make like what your religion is about, bonuses that you get from spreading your religion, things like that. But if you can convert 50% of the cities of every civilization, so if England has 10 cities, you need to convert at least 5 of them to your religion. And if every civilization you have 50% of their cities following your religion, you win the religious victory. That is one that I'm actually really close to winning in this one. Science, I am way ahead, so I've got to decide if I'm going to do science or religion. I think I might try to do religion because I've never done it before, and I think it would be kind of cool. So I'm starting to spam out missionaries and apostles and trying to spread my religion across this world. So
Do you get to do like a Spanish Inquisition to these people to get them to follow your?
actually, yes.
Nice.
The Inquisitors actually don't. They are more protecting from people coming and trying to convert you. So your
Uh,
Inquisitors are more your your defenders, your religious defenders, and your apostles are the ones that go out and start converting. And the apostles are the ones that'll go out and fight other religions. And it's when you start seeing you'll start seeing this religion, you know, in between turns, you'll see those guys just going at each other like units are going at each other, and you'll see one religion start going up and then the other one going up, and it's just a back and forth. It it's really kind of cool, and right now I think I'm ahead of the game on getting out apostles and converting people. So I think I'm going to catch my biggest opponent in the religion is England, and they only have I think they only have 3 or 4 cities. So if I can get everybody else leaning towards my religion, then I can just go and I'll either wipe her out and kill her off, or if I can't convert her. So you either follow me or die.
oh, I see how you are now. Power has gone to your head.
Absolutely. This game is awesome. I recommend it. It's $60 on Steam. It's $60 on pretty much anywhere right now because it's so new. But keep an eye out for things, for sales wherever you can. This game, if you like turn-based strategy games, you will love this game. Um, it is loads and loads of fun. When you start playing at 10:30 at night, and the next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I could wait a second. I've only been playing for like 10 minutes. No, it's really been 2.5 hours. You should probably go to bed.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, That's how good it is. So I recommend it to everybody. Go check out Civilization 6.
Nice.
And if you want to see how it's played before you buy it, stay tuned for, I believe I'm going to try to do it Thursday, maybe. It might I'm going to try to do it this week. We'll see how far I get into it. I might try to finish my game that I'm currently on before I start another one. I don't know, we'll see. But stay tuned to our YouTube channel at tiny.cc/geekvice. Follow the playlist there. I'm going to make a playlist that'll be specifically to Civilization 6. So when you see that pop up, that playlist pop up, go save that to your channel, favorite it, like it, whatever you need to do, and you'll get updates when I put new videos on there. So I'm going to be playing it, and you can watch and see what it looks like and watch me probably lose. Because, I'm winning now, so if I start having people watch me play, I'll probably get my ass handed to me really quick.
Well, it's like anything else. You do really great until somebody starts watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It does that, when I'm teaching people Civil 3D at work, and I go to do something and it doesn't do it the first time. It's like, trust me, I actually do know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So, all right, that is going to put an end to this episode. You got anything else you want to throw out there, Kip?
You know what? We were talking about doing Halloween next week. Isn't next week supposed to be our Bigfoot themed
Oh,
week?
that's right. Next week is Sasquatch week.
That's right.
So, the podcast arcade, that is right. I did not put that into the notes, and so I had forgotten about it. The podcast arcade is having a full week long Sasquatch week. Eddie, the Podfather for Podcast Arcade, has gone on a Sasquatch hunt, and he is going to be talking about that on Daydream Instruction Manual. We have Monday, so tune in next Monday for our Sasquatch filled episode. Not real sure what we're going to do yet, but we're going to do something that's Sasquatch related. It's probably going to involve Flapjacks and Sasquatches. We would be an idiot if we did not at least mention that game next week. So stay tuned for that next week.
All right.
All right. The usual stuff here. You can follow us on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. Of course, you can also follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekvice. You can also get to our YouTube channel through that Facebook page. So if you don't want to go to the YouTube channel, you can find it through Facebook. All our videos are on there. You can actually play them through Facebook as well. Just look on the left-hand side. There's a little page that says YouTube. Click on that. It'll show you all our videos. They're not sorted as neatly as YouTube does, but it at least has them all there. You can also go to our YouTube channel at tiny.cc/geekvice. That's the easiest way to get there, or just search for Kip Morph on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow that man over there at Kip Killigan. You can follow me at Geekvice. And lastly, you can always email us at geekvice@gmail.com. Thanks everybody for listening to our ramblings, and we will see you next week for some Sasquatch. Button.
This podcast is part of the Podcast Arcade Network.